Hey guys, it's GalaxyGorilla coming at you with something new today. We're going to be dipping into one of my favorite pastimes that I've been wanting to share with you guys. So, if you don't know what this game is, this is Europa Universalis 4. It is a game that's just, it's about history and culture and, playing as the different nations throughout time. But this is not the base game. This is a mod, a fantasy conversion mod called Anbennar. And I have just been playing so much of this lately, and I decided, you know what? Let's share it with the fans. This might not be your speed, but I think this is a really cool game. If you guys have EU4 or if you watch the video and you like it, I highly recommend it. It's been a lot of fun. So this is a fantasy conversion mod. This is all about playing as different fantastical races of the world of Anbennar. And if you zoom out and you look, like, see how huge this is? And they're not even done with it yet. They still have more to do, and I think that is awesome. If you look around a little bit, you've got all sorts of races and stuff. You've got orcs, you guys have dwarves, you guys have goblins, you got humans, you got everything under the sun. But this playthrough is going to be focused on a currently reworked nation. So, if you do not know, we are in the Fires of Conviction update that dropped, I think, like last week or sometime before that. We're going to be playing as these guys right here, Megaharmum. These are ogres. We are ogres in the Forbidden Valley, and yeah, we're going to see if we can get through their whole mission tree and become an ogre empire. Let's get this started. All right, and we have loaded in. So I want you guys just to, if you're interested in a little more history of the ogres and, all of that, I will just slowly scroll through here, and you guys can pause the video and read this for yourselves. So let's close that down for now, and let's get started. Okay, so right now we are being ruled by this big massive dude called Ziltag, the great kingdom of the fat-hide ogres. Megahargrum had long fallen into decadence. The king resides within his palace, gorging himself of feasts gathered from centaur tributes, while his warlord vassals ruled their lands unopposed, paying little more than lip service to their liege. When the centaurs attacked the kingdom suddenly, and the king fell in battle, the mighty Ziltag rose to the throne, leading our people to victory and reaffirming the power of Megahargrum over the warlords. While they may still desire their freedom, while Ziltag rules from his throne, none dare to rise again. And so that's going to give us the reign of Ziltag until our king dies, which is going to give us a huge morale buff to our armies, as well as reducing the liberty desire in our subjects. So, once we get that clicked in, so at this point, I want to give you guys a little idea of what we're looking at. So right now, this is my nation. We're this small little 4-province thing. But right now, we have this guy. This is a full-on vassal. If you guys look over here in the vassal subjects menu, currently, we have 2 full-on vassals. We have these 3 guys here. So if we ever enter war, they will support us. And then we have these small dudes sitting around here. These are called tributary vassals. So these guys will not support us if we go into war, but they are going to send us a certain amount of money, or in this case, we're going to switch this over to manpower, just because we're going to be fighting a lot, and we're going to need the boost in manpower. I'm not too worried about money, because every time I win and conquer in a war, I can just use the manpower I earned, or I'm sorry, not the manpower, I can use the money I earned to keep my income afloat while sucking up manpower from my different tributaries. So, the biggest thing that the ogres have to deal with in the early game is this. We have a religion, and with our religion, we have a downside. This is called hunger. If you guys have played base game EU4, this is similar to Aztec's Doom, and, your hunger slowly builds every year, and if it reaches 100, your people will freak out and they will depose your leader. So, to get rid of the hunger mechanic, we have to do 5 different religious reforms. We have to do this one here, which is to have 4 provinces, which is, our land, with one of the, modifiers of grain, serpent bloom, or livestock, and they have to have this, 4 production. If we have 4 of those, and we can crack that open, and it'll give us a permanent buff of production efficiency. This one here is to embrace feudalism. That one's going to be a little bit harder. This one here is going to be... This one, see, we could do this one right now if we had stability. but we don't. But this one will, make it so our vassals will give us more money. We have this one here. This one is these two are, in my opinion, the hardest to complete. This one is Public Feasts. You have to have Prestige of 50, and you have to have 500 gold in the bank. And then over here, this one is literally win 15 wars, which is it's not too hard, but it is a little tough. All right, so if you guys look over here, so most countries at this point have this thing called a mission tree, and this mission tree is going to kind of dictate how your experience will work. And this is like the ogre's full mission tree right here. Some factions will have like mission trees where you'll finish like one thing and it will unlock something new. But what's cool about this is the reworked one. This is the brand new one. They have these things called dynamic missions. So depending on what you pick in some of these earlier missions kind of dictates what you're going to do in these newer ones here. So we're going to start at the very top. We've got two of these. We have this one here. We have Strike Back, which is just winning a war, and we will gain claims on certain areas, around us. For example, what does it say? We've got UGHNAGFOI. I think it's just all of this land. Yeah. Okay, yeah. See, it's all the land that's around us. We kind of just gain claims on it, and we can take it as our own, which is really nice. So I'm thinking step one is we want to try to unify the ogre clans. Just get all of these guys under one banner and make sure that these guys over here, all of these are centaur clans. They're going to be at war with each other constantly because they want to try to form the big giant centaur nation, and we're going to work really hard to stop that because they are very powerful. Because the way this game works is your armies are made up of different compositions. For example, my army right now is just infantry. But if you look over here at the centaurs, their army is made up of only cavalry. Now, the issue with that is, when you're in the first phase of fighting, which I believe is called the fire phase, infantry does more fire damage, so you will take the lead. Then you hit the shock phase, and that's what cavalry does, shock damage, and you will get torn asunder, and it kind of sucks. It's going to do a lot of damage. So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to beat up and kill one of these centaurs to finish off that first mission, and then after that we are going to start, going around and conquering land and trying to just absorb this ogre area here. I think that's about it. I think we're about ready to get started. That's kind of like the basic rundown. So what's really nice about my faction is you start off with a military general who is a 3-star general, meaning you are just Giga God. You're really good at fire, you're really good at shock, you can move fast, he is an absolute beast, and he's going to make this much easier for me. So I'm thinking my first target here, because if we want to gain claims to own this land, we're going to need to finish this first mission here. So let's just quickly beat up one of these centaurs, forcibly tributize them, and then start heading over here to, conquer our ogre brethren. And I think that is going to be, a good place to begin. So we're going to crank this up to 4 speed. When we're at wartime, I'm going to slow it down a little bit to 3, but during these kind of intermittent periods, we're going to keep it nice and slow, just so, the game doesn't freak out. So if you take a look over here, you have your estates. These are basically like the people, like the different, I guess, like houses who help you monitor and work with your country. And you can summon a diet, which will increase how happy they are with you, or you can seize land. I'm going to seize some land, because the more crown land you have, the more benefits you get, and we're going to need more of those types of benefits later. All right. Thank you guys for listening to that, little rundown of everything, and let's go ahead and jump in. So this game is kind of nice. For that first month, you cannot declare war in the very first month, just so, I assume it's so nobody can just kind of, instantaneously roll over each other. We got our first pop-up here. I don't want to deal with inflation, even though, it would give me more admin power. I don't really want to deal with that. I don't care about mercenary companies. We will probably need those in the future, but not now. And it seems like we are going to war. A royal marriage? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to click on these guys here, and we're going to try to force them into being a tributary nation. So let's go ahead and roll on over to their capital, and we will start sieging that now. So the reason why I'm taking this opportunity to jump at these guys is because they've been declared on by their neighbor over here. And we don't really care about their land. We're not going to take it just yet. We're going to turn them into a tributary vassal, meaning they are going to, like these guys over here, pay us a certain amount of money every month. But at the same time, I do plan on making it so that they are... I'm brain farting here. I want to make them... I don't know. I'm being a little silly here. Alright, establish a tributary, and we're going to suck up some money from them. Alright, beautiful. You are now our minion. So let's go ahead and pause, and let's run on over here, and let's crack open this mission. This is called Strike Back. Let me see. Does it have any information on it? Yeah, here we go. Only through the exponential leadership of Ziltag were the Fat-Hide Ogre spared from hunger-fueled extinction at the hands of the Centaur invaders. For the crime of despoiling our lands, and for the regicide of the late Goranma Gravelhide, we will force the Centaurs to atone with their gold, lands, and flesh. So, more or less, we're going to try to armbar these guys into being our, slaves. More or less. So, the thing, though, is, because this guy is a tributary vassal, that means he is now being killed by another tributary vassals. So your normal vassals can not fight amongst each other, but tributaries are not on that same length. They can, in fact, kill each other, which is a little annoying. But we're not going to worry about that too much for now. Instead, we want to focus on just trying to tributize as many of these centaurs as possible. So we're going to go over to Nightmare, we're going to declare war, and we're just going to try to, tributize them here. Don't get me wrong, I do want to, armbar the ogres up above, but at the same time, we want to press into this as much as we can. That was really nice. They did not have a commander with them at the time, so I was able to just jump on them right away and absolutely, roll them over. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is going pretty well so far. We're not really burning through our manpower too hard. That's definitely one of the hardest parts about this campaign, is because you're fighting so often, you don't want your people, if you run out of manpower, your armies won't reinforce, and you do not want to, run out of manpower. Well, actually, do we want to make this guy a tributary, or do we want to just take this land? Because realistically, we could just, wait, can we take this land? Yeah, if I go over here and, what? Without demanding... Oh, okay, I see. Alright, no, we could take... Yeah, actually, you know what? We'll take this piece of land here, but we'll still keep them as a tributary. Alright, very nice. So, what's nice about this right now, when you conquer land, you do have to put cores on it, or else you'll deal with overextension, and overextension sucks. But something we're going to need to deal with is, just running through and trying to kill as many of these centaurs as possible, and just trying to figure out which ones are doing what. Because right now, it seems like they're all over the place with war and such, so kind of armbarring them into servitude is going to be a little tricky. So I think what we'll do is we're going to take a break from over here, and we're going to head up over to this side, and we're going to declare on this guy right here, Grey Hoof. We're going to turn him into a tributary, and then we're going to try to just conquer and maybe take some land. Are you at war right now? Yeah, you are. You're at war with Battle Song, this one right here. Ooh, we got a pop-up. Bellicose voices clog the halls of our capital, sapping Mengurum Ziltag's patience and attention. Two disparate parties stand before Mengurum, divided by a line of guards. They finally simmer down, allowing the first group, comprising a colorful mishmash of false peoples, to speak. Is this how Mahargamorm treats its daring soldiers of fortune? We braved the unknown and deadly for equal shares of all treasures, but when we completed our quest, the mercenaries cast a lurid eye at the opposing party before biting their tongue. They reneged on our promised dues. What shite! The second group, a cadre of ogre warriors, shrugs nonchalantly at their lesser former partners. My Mengurum, it is the law that all equal shares are done by the fistful. It is our fault they have such diminutive... They're saying he's got small hands! Perhaps these foreigners should have spent a moment learning our customs before doing business in our lands. They walked half as far and carried half as much during our contract. By all accounts, they have been compensated fairly. In fact, they should pay us a higher share for our labor and then, yeah, it just kind of devolves into nonsense. So this is kind of where I get two different choices. So I can do fair mercenary contracts, which makes our mercenaries cost a little bit more, but they have more discipline. Or I can, tank their discipline a little bit, but make their maintenance, you know what I mean, a little bit cheaper. I think we'll go with that one. We don't need them at this point, so I'm not too worried about them. But we do kind of want to just move on and continue tributizing more of these people here. Alright, we are in range of Great Hoof. We're going to declare war. We could conquest these ones. I think we're just going to tributize this one here. Like I said, you want to tributize as many of these stinky centaurs as possible. Because in that point, you can kind of just suck up as much money as you want, and that's just kind of what we would really like to do. So I think what we're going to do here is, if we can avoid fighting that 9k, that's a pretty big stack, so I believe they will have the chance to hit the shock phase, and I would rather not have my dudes torn apart because of that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to siege down their capital and all of their land because our vassals are Giga Chads. Let me see, how we doing? This is almost done. Yeah, because if you check, you can look at the siege and see like how their morale is doing and, how badly we're ripping up the defensiveness. Because realistically, we're going to want to tributize him. And then we're going to move on to this guy up here. Actually, we might want to stop them from killing this guy, realistically. Yeah, let's go ahead and go do that. I do not have military access here. Are you willing to give me military access? Woo, you are. Okay, cool. Little does he know that this is, bad for him. Because, I'm going to kill and eat him later. Ah! The shock! It hurts! Alright, let's pause real quick. And let's take a quick look over here. Go over to the treaties, and then we're going to establish you as a tributary, and you're going to give me your money. Is there anything else I want from you here? No. Okay. That's totally fine. Alright, so we're going to retreat just a little bit. We're going to let our dudes heal. And what's nice is, right here, this is the next mission in the tree. At this point, we do have these guys as tributaries. So, what we would like to do before anything else is we want to tributize more. Because, if you guys read the mission, every province owned by our subjects in the West Forbidden Plains region that is bordering our region will be annexed. All tributary subjects of the capitals in the West Forbidden Plains, along with their vassals, become our... That's a hard word to read. They do not cost a diplomatic relation and only take itself and I didn't mean to be blah blah blah. And the supporters' relative power into account. Provinces owned by the tributaries with their capital will be ceded to us. Okay, so realistically, what this mission is saying is you're going to absorb your tributaries in the regions around. So what I want to do is I want to try to just tributize as many of these guys as possible. And just try to get them into being our slave nations so we can absorb them with that mission. So what we're going to do here is we're going to retreat just a little bit. We're going to let our troops heal over the course of the month, and then we're going to declare war on these guys here. For the simple fact that we want to conquer their land and use this as a stepping stone to taking on the rest of our ogre brothers. Alright, let's go ahead and... Are we full? We're more or less healed. Let's go ahead and launch the war. What? What do you mean? What? Hold on. Give me... Hold on. Okay. I canceled military access. Now can I... Okay, yeah, alright. So, because I had military access with them, that was going to drive us to war. That's funny. Alright, well, whatever. Now I gotta wait for a diplomat. Stupid diplomacy. Alright, come on. Time has passed. Let me push the button. Ogre! Yep, they were on their capital, so we're going to kill them real quick. Okay, so, if you guys are interested, if you look down at the religious reforms, how many... We've won 3 out of 15 wars. That's actually pretty good. I feel like we're getting through this pretty quick. Actually, no, this is kind of a problem. We have Great Hoof, one of our vassals here, is kind of taking all of their land, and they're going to most likely absorb them, which is a little annoying. Because I wanted to tributize them. I didn't want to just, have my other dude eat them all, but that seems like it's going to be the case. All right, well, let's help them win this portion of the war, and then we can kind of figure out what we're going to do next. Because, I mean, realistically, we are going to pop that mission in just a second. Yep, that siege is over. Yeah, as I thought. Okay, real quick, let's throw out a little pause, and let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and just tributize this guy. Yep, give me your $10. Okay, so with that out of the way, we own more or less all of these guys as tributaries. Take a quick look around here. Yep. Okay, I see. So I'm thinking, this is where things get a little dicey, and I'm not too sure. So realistically, I could pop this mission right now. I think I will. I think I will pop this mission right now. All right, Beasts of Burden. Very nice. All right, I see. We did join our allies' war because they are our actual vassal now, but as you can see, I did absorb some of the land from my vassals, like up and over here. What is pretty sick is I believe this has freely cored this for me, which is really nice. And if you go over here to the vassals tab, I believe that has made... Yep, it's made all of those centaur clans our actual full vassals now, which is really interesting. All right. We are at war right now, so let's quickly clean up this war, and then we will move on from there. So I think at this point, we're going to kind of try to step away from making these guys tributaries, and more just making these guys... Actually, no, let's keep it as tributaries. I think that sounds better. Let's take a quick peek and see what the next mission is over here, because this has opened up two things. Seize the Serpent has 2 tributary areas in the Serpent Gift region. What is the Serpent Gift region? I believe the Serpent Gift region is this. So we'll have to go down there and just tributize some people. No province in the Western Forbidden Plains region not owned by Mahargagorm or is one of its subjects. Okay, so if we hover over this mission and you guys take a look, this right here is, like, we have to own all of this land. That's a lot of... Holy crap, bro. That is a lot of land to take. Whew. Maybe we should have waited on this mission a little bit. I don't think it's that big of a deal. We can definitely kind of, like, reorganize as we go. Alright, so, once this war is done, my plan is to curve and head over to this way and start killing my ogre brethren, and that is probably where we'll call it for this first ogre video. How have you guys been enjoying this type of content? I know this is like kind of different than what I usually do, but I really love this game, and I kind of want to start sharing it off with you guys and just seeing how you feel about it. Alright, come on. Siege down. Siege! This is nice because this is going to count as another war won. But as you can see, with the more land I take, the, Oh, here we go. Yeah, you can be a tributary. Actually, you know what? Do we want to... I think we're going to be a little nice. Let's pause the game real quick. We're going to be a little nice, and we're going to give this land to our vassal. He's been a good little pony, so he can have some of this land. But I am going to take his big bucks. Nice. Alright, well, that's all set. So now we get to another mission here called A Family Matter. While Ziltag himself is an ogre of once in a millennia, political and military acumen, his son, Chaik, is quite the opposite, taking more after his decadent grandfather than his father. The Ogre Valley has languished under his oversight while Ziltag is out on campaign. If we wish for Ziltag's reforms to take root, something must be done to prevent a backslide after his passing. So essentially, what this mission is going to do is it's going to give us a choice. We can either keep the chunky, fat son that I have and, have him continue messing things up, or we can switch over to a new person to help us out. So we're going to take a small hiatus on Ogre War, and we're going to head over to our capital because of the simple fact that we are going to have to deal with a small uprising. Because I don't know if you know this, but if you want to kill the king, that usually requires you to overthrow the situation. All right. Yeah, let's spend some cash. Let's make our army a little bit bigger. Honestly, I'm willing to go the whole 9 yards. It's going to cost us some money, but thankfully we've got tributaries to prop up our cash flow. Let me see. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch you guys back. I'll switch you to cash. And then I'll keep the rest of you guys on manpower, just because we want to make sure that's staying in place. Times of Need. The dynasty of our noble Mengarum Gravelhide is certainly a powerful one. Though Ziltag, they rule our nation and will do so for many years to come. However, even the greats are sometimes in need of help. What are you asking for? Oh, so I can ask people for aid here. But it's also going to make it so that we have to pay them back later on. Realistically, we're going to be warring a lot, so I'm fine with accepting some manpower. Only because we are doing, like, a big growth in our army, and if we're going to want to handle all of that, we're going to need to, you know, have quite a bit. Nice. Cool. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, I want to make sure my army is propped up to, like, max power. Quickly throw out a pause, because that's also... What's going on? Oh, I have not done a religious reform yet. And our hunger's not that... Actually, you know what? So here. If we want to crank open one of our religious reforms, we're going to need to beef out our stability. And we've got quite a bit of admin power, and we're not going to be teching for a while just because of how expensive it is, because we're dumb monsters and we don't have feudalism. So let's actually go ahead and boost this here, so then we can pop one of our religious forms, which is going to make it so that our vassals are going to give us more money. That is going to beef up our hunger a little bit, because every time you finish one of these, you know, there always has to be a catch-22, so it kind of girths up your hunger a little bit. So what we can then do is use this mission here to tank our hunger down. Isn't that pretty cool? Let's see. Yeah, since our army is peaked, let's take care of this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this lady as our new heir, because if you take a look over here, our heir is a 010. That's pretty bad compared to like a 536. So we're gonna get rid of him because he's like stinky and weak. But that also means we're gonna have to deal with you know, pretender rebels. So we're gonna go rip them up. Unfortunately, I was not able to help out and save my my tributary over there. But let's quickly roll through and get rid of all these pretender rebels, which is nice. Alright, cool. How badly are we hemorrhaging money right now? Pretty badly. We would like to not, like, take loans and stuff, but we might have to if that's the case. One of the following must be true. Okay, they have to be improved relations, and we would have to have an army of 24. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do this for just a little bit. And we need money for this one here. Okay, alright, that's fine. We don't have too much money right now, but we'll get that done. Alright, so I think what we're going to do now, we were able to get a new heir. We're sitting pretty comfortably, I'm not going to lie. So what we're going to do now is we're going to... What's going on? Oh, are our tributaries killing each other? Yeah, I think our tributaries are killing each other. You know what? It's annoying, but I can't do too much about it. Let's quickly run through here, and let's just go through and conquer all of our, like, all of our fellow ogres and such. Just because I do not want to deal with them in the future. If you take a look up here at this one, these guys, the Frosthide Ogres, have a wizard ruler who is a lich. Well, okay, they're not a lich. They are a level 2 necromancer. There is magic in this game. Maybe eventually we will get our own, you know, ruler of that sort. But, you know, right now, this guy is he has a level 2 necromancer, and if you are able to pump your necromancy up to level 3, you can become a lich. but we're not going to worry about that too much because we can't really do anything about that. I'm going to switch a couple of my tributaries. And since we're doing a little bit better on manpower, I need to stave off loans. I do not want to go into debt. Debt stinks. Because the more debt you have, the more your inflation rises, and then, you know, you kind of get screwed. Kind of like in real life, you know what I mean? So let's try to conquer our ogre brothers. What happened here? Excuse me? Did you... Wait, hold on. What is going on? Okay, I think all of my tributaries are, like, eating each other right now. Which is really annoying. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go through. Because, I mean, realistically, I think as we go through the missions, we're going to eventually get to the point where we're going to just more or less take over all of our tributaries. Ah, we had to take out a loan. That sucks. That just means we're not killing fast enough. Soon. Soon we shall take Skull Nasher. This is taking a lot. Yeah, that was annoying. That was a really long siege. Alright, we're going to consume the land, take some cash, and call it a day. We're going to go ahead and make that into a core. So, thankfully, these are really small weak nations that we can kind of just beat on and kill, and that's going to very heavily contribute to getting this one done. And so the thing is there are two ways to get your hunger down. Number one, you can, you know, kill people, like, not like taking over their nation, but if your army steps onto their army, you, like, it reduces your hunger, because I assume you're eating them alive. Another thing you could do is if you go over to here, one of the options you have is to eat your people's rulers. And it's very bad because it makes your people hate you. So I'm going to, you know, not do that. We're going to try to stick away from that sort of situation. But I think this is going to be a good place to pause for today's video. You know, let me know how you guys feel about this series. I'm going to try to, you know, get through a full playthrough or up until, you know, the game decides it's going to roll me over. But if you guys like it, I will continue with more. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. GalaxyGorilla out.